Derick Giwner along with the ever grumpy Matt Rose here in DRF headquarters for another fine edition of the Harness Spotlight, where we're going to take a look at a race at the Meadowlands for Saturday, May the 11th. They have the Golden Receiver. It's one of many stakes events throughout the country you'll find this weekend. Most of them a little bit more the minor variety, but we do have the Confederation Cup eliminations at Flamborough with some nice horses. But here we are looking at race number 8, the Golden Receiver. It's leg number 2 of this series, which will go on, I think, right through into June on various dates. And we have the morning line favorite of number 8, Highlighter.
Okay, and the much deserving morning line favorite, Highlighter. We've seen this horse just be absolutely great this year, spectacular with for Jenny Beer and driver Richard Still, who gets along great with this horse. And I think any misconceptions that Richard Still, who's not a Meadowlands regular per se, would be able to handle driving this horse or handle driving the best horse odds on favorite. He's proved that he's way more than capable, and anyone has apprehension about playing him because maybe they're not familiar with him should have no trouble playing him. He's the best horse. The race goes through him despite the outside post. Deserving favorite, and that's probably where I'm going to land, but I have a feeling that you're going to try to beat him.
I will tell you, on April 13th, I played Highlighter, and I found every reason to believe why I don't want to bet Richard Still as my driver, because he did everything he possibly could to lose that race. As far as I'm concerned, he did everything wrong.
Okay, so that's one blip, and meanwhile, otherwise...
One blip, but let's take a look at what Highlighter did last week, winning the Van Rose Memorial at Pocono. He's going to get the golden trip here, sitting in the pocket. I
wouldn't say that golden. It looks golden until you hit the top of the stretch, and he has to make up a couple lengths here with the leader that kind of bears out a little bit. He's able to slide through up the rail of the passing lane.
And that's Better Memories, the 9 horse on the outside going with him.
But once Highlighter gets clear and straightens out and hits a gear, he blows right on by. Like I said, what looked like a great stalking trip. A little nervous moments as he kind of got backed up, but once straightened out, he blew right by to win rather easily. He had a decent 2-1 mutual. I don't know if we're going to get 2-1 tonight, but yeah, that just proves how sharp this 5-year-old is. And
while a few of them were racing in that Van Rose, the 3 Duplicated, the 6 Soho Wall Street, Highlighter, and of course Better Memories, who we mentioned. A couple of the other ones were racing at the Meadowlands in an invitational. We have Sweet Rock and Delta Winner, and we're going to take a look at that replay where Don't Tell Me Again is going to win this race. But look at the 3/4 fraction 122 and 4, and you're seeing what these other horses are coming home, and it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, you see Sweet Rock was a 6 horse on the outside. He's all out. He's not really gaining all that much. He's pacing even to the wire. But you see, he paced the last quarter in 26. And the horse on the far outside, Delta Winner, too far to come into 25 and 2 final kicker. Obviously, it's hard. It's going to be hard to gain. You're not going to go 24 in a piece to gain that much ground. But both solid efforts. I figured these 2 horses will probably have different tactics here. Sweet Rock, I would imagine, would be more forwardly placed. Delta Winner would probably be looking for a trip from maybe, second or third over, something like that.
With Yannick Gingras has listed the drive. Steve Smith has taken the drive, and typically Steve Smith is more of a conservative driver.
That's exactly my point.
Though he could shock us all and go right to the front, and then we'll be like scratching our heads. But
yeah, but I wouldn't. I think there's other bona fide speed types that are going to be forwardly placed, like the 2 Classy Dragon for Jennifer Bongiorno, like we mentioned, Sweet Rock. Definitely Highlighter. I don't think he's getting away last.
Well, that's the one thing I think the key to this race is going to be, what is Richard Still doing here, with this horse in this race? Is he going to try and gun him to the front? Is he going to settle on a tuck? What do you think he's going to do?
I don't think he's going to. If he wants the front, I don't think he's going to have to work that hard to get the front. I mean, who in this race is not going to release him if he wants the front?
Well, I don't know that someone won't release him, but I think the 1 always at my place, 2 Classy Dragon, I think the 4 Sweet Rock, all these horses are likely leaving, and which means if he's making the front, he's getting the front used in 25 and 4 or 26 and 1.
And then he'll be the last one to the lead, and sometimes the last one to the lead is the first one to the wire. Listen, I've been looking for reasons to play against Highlighter, and I honestly can't come up with anybody that I like enough to try to beat him. I don't think this is the strongest of fields. Obviously, I don't want to discount any of these classy rivals. You got a few millionaires in here. A couple millionaires in here, but the more I look at it, the more I can't find a horse to beat him. So I'm going to play him on top and try to catch an exact underneath. I'm going to use Always at My Place, bumping up in class after beating a non-winners of 22,000 at Pocono. Obviously, he's got the class to go with these. Sweet Rock should be forwardly placed, as we mentioned. You mentioned Better Memories, who came out of that Pocono race a little post-compromise. I don't know. Can't see him winning from that spot. He might just have too far to come. Like I said, it just went through this field, and I can't come up with anything other than highlighter. I don't want to get off a favorite, but maybe I'll try a couple of cold exactas with the one Always at My Place, the 2 Classy Dragon. Try to get some value underneath.
Well, I'm going with number 4, Sweet Rock in here. I just think this is a perfect scenario for him where he can leave to the front in this race or choose to come from off the pace if he wanted to. But I think more likely he's going to leave. Driver Dexter Dunn has shown that he could be a little bit aggressive. And quite frankly, I don't think this is a great spot for Highlighter. I think this is a spot where with the outside post, he's going to have trouble getting to the front. I think the driver Richard Still's likely going to choose to take a tuck if he can find it. And I would rather have a driver who's going to, I'd rather have a more regular driver on the circuit, quite frankly. Then, if I think Still is going to be on the lead with Highlighter, by all means, I think Highlighter's a really good horse, and I think he'll probably win the race. But I don't see him getting that easy of a road to the top. And because he's going to have to do a little bit extra to get it done, I'd rather go with someone else in this spot. And I think Sweet Rock's a horse that's proven he's certainly fast enough to win this race. He's certainly sharp enough to win this race. And I think without Don't Tell Me Again in the field, and quite frankly, all due respect to Highlighter, I think Don't Tell Me Again's a better horse than Highlighter. I think Sweet Rock will be more apt, and Dexter Dunn will be more apt to control the race rather than to settle for a 3-hole.
Okay, well, we will see. I mean, you should get... I would imagine you get around, he's listed at 4-1 on the morning line, maybe around that price, 3-1, something like that.
And I'm going to be using Delta Winner on my ticket too and take a shot with him because I think we all know this is a horse that could pop up with a big mile at any time.
He pops up with a big mile at any time.
With Steve Smith driving, you're going to get a much better price, and I think he's worth using on your tickets.
He is classy enough. He does fit with this type. He was much better in his second start this year. And yeah, with Steve Smith driving, he probably will get completely ignored on the wagering, so he could be easily double digits here. Good luck if you think you can reach him off the pace.
8th race is the Golden Receiver. It's the first leg of the $50,000 guarantee pick 4. DRF Bets has a special promotion running this entire month. For the Meadowlands, you're getting a 5% rebate on all wagers. Check it out at promos.drf.com and get in on the action. Good luck.